Hey, what's up, fellow first responders? In today's video, I'm going to do some Q&A and I'm going to answer a question that a viewer had, and it's a three-part question, and it is, do SWAT medics get paid $250,000 like Google says? How many SWAT medics are former SF medics in the Army? And does SWAT look for former military medics or civilians? And I'm going to attack the latter part of it first because I think it's easier. So, how many SWAT medics are former SF medics in the Army? And we specifically, for us, we actually have one medic right now that is a current Green Beret in the reserves. He's been there for over 20 years. He is not a medic in the Army, right? So he is a firefighter paramedic. He works at a super busy house, super busy truck, sees a lot of trauma, same type of trauma that we would expect to see in the tactical environment. Um, but that being said, he's not a medic in the Army, okay? But he brings an enormous amount of combat experience, and he's been instrumental in the program and a huge asset, obviously. Okay, does SWAT look for former military medics or civilians? We do not announce to the world and say, hey, we're looking for military medics, or I know civilians. I know there are civilians in some agencies that have volunteers like doctors, PAs, nurses, things like that. I know Vegas does that, but we get our medics from the fire department. So it's what we're going to get is whoever's already a firefighter paramedic hired within our department. So real quick, our process is we put an announcement out once a year, and people answer back through email. They go to the orientation, they start the process, they get the hiring packet from police, they fill that out. If they make that through the hiring process, then they're eligible to go through the 3-week selection course, and then from there they go to the 13-week auxiliary academy. And then once they finish all that and they take the state exam, they can be operational on the team. And that's how we get our medics. Sure, would I love to have a bunch of PJs and 18 Deltas that we can pick from? Great. But they have to go through that whole process, and they have to be a member in good standing with the fire department. And that's where we get our medics. That's what we look for when people are applying to us, is really what they do in the 3-week selection, because that's we call that the 3-week interview process. All right, so now for the juicy one that you're here for is, do SWAT medics get paid 250,000 like Google says? And I'm gonna do a Google search here live, and I'm gonna put it on the video here, and this is what it says. Hold on a minute, because I got to put these on. All right, so according to ZipRecruiter, a SWAT medic in the United States can earn an average salary of around 241,295 per year, with top earners reaching up to 348,000 annually. This translates to an average hourly wage of approximately $116 an hour. Key points about SWAT medic salaries. Average salary is 241,295. The average, 75th percentile being the 300,000, and the 25th percentile being 200,000. Okay, factors influencing the salary: location. Salaries can vary depending on the cost of living, experience, and the agency, and that's the huge one, right? So, show me where this is at, where I can make 241,000 working Monday through Friday, right? Because that's the caveat here. All right, so for us specifically, our salary, what we get paid is what we get paid from the fire department. Whatever we're getting paid from the fire department, when we jump over to police to fill that role for the year that we're assigned, we're getting that pay, whatever that pay is. And it ain't $241,000 a year, right? Could we make $241,000 a year? Yes. My kid's probably not gonna know what I look like. All right, you're gonna work a ton of overtime, a ton of extra duty services, and you're gonna be gone a lot, right? It's gonna be pretty. You're gonna work for this. It's not like you're gonna show up Monday through Friday working 5/8 or 4/10s and make 250 grand, 241. As currently right now, as of today, when I search, that's what it shows. It's not. That's not a thing, right? No, and then there's no like, if you went on there and searching for a job, I'm gonna look for specifically for SWAT medics. I don't know how other agencies, if they, when they seek out their medics, if they go to a hospital, the ones that have like volunteer doctors and nurses and PAs and stuff, and they're volunteers, right? But around here, pretty much the majority of the big departments in this state, even the like smaller ones, get their medics from the fire department, or like I don't even know any around here that get them from an ambulance company, or a hospital. So they're gonna get that pay that they're getting paid wherever they're at, and then they come and do their SWAT duties, whether it's per incident or detached like we are for a year. That's how they get paid. They're not. Nobody gets on just being a SWAT medic. Like you're not gonna get on as that's your only role and you're a SWAT medic and that's what you got hired and that's all you do. Because I even a really busy team like us, it's not like something that you're gonna do. I mean, we're here because we're here full time for a year. But anyways, 250K for a SWAT medic. That's there's other sites that I looked up that showed more like 58,000 and things that are more reasonable. But if you're getting into this with that in mind, that you're going to make 250 grand or that you're seeking to make a ton of money, listen, nobody that got into this line of work, whether police, fire, EMS, got into it to be rich or got into it ever thinking that they were going to be rich or make a ton of money. You're in this to save lives. You're in this to make a difference in people's lives, and that's why we do it, right? We're not doing it. So if you're looking at that for that dollar figure, you know, it's probably you're not going to be a happy camper when you are having to put in all those hours of work to achieve that goal. Okay, so remember, the time chooses you. So stay frosty, and I hope that answers your questions. And if you have any more questions, put them in the comments, and I'll do more videos like this where I answer your questions. Peace.